Thank you, Molly. First, thanks Molly and Casey both for inviting ClearCube to participate. Thank you to the attendees choosing to share part of your day with us and your interest in ClearCube. So we're going to get right on to our story. Since ClearCube's inception in 1999, our mission has been moving desktops to the data center. We're known throughout the industry as the inventor of the Blade PC, and ClearCube was Teradici's very first OEM partner in the earliest days of PC over IP. We produced the first PC over IP Zero client, the first Fiber Zero client, the first Quad Zero client, the first multiple level Security Zero client, the first Tempest clients, and just recently we introduced a new Tempest Level 2 Zero client. So Zero clients have been important to us from the very beginning. I want to explain a little bit more about what Zero means to us in the next few slides. Describe the best use cases for ClearCube, where we certainly have the best fit for any other provider in the marketplace, how the options and the nuances that are driven by the user requirements define value for us. I'll quantify that for us a little bit in the presentation, and explain how really the big picture of how this whole solution fits together is really most vividly seen from the end user's perspective. So as with almost any typical workplace today, you're going to find a variety of different worker types, task types, worker profiles, different applications, and each user is going to be satisfied today mostly by distributed desktop PCs. ClearCube's mission, as I said, is to get those desktops back into the data center where they can be safely secured, where they can be easily administered, and where they can really provide a number of different financial and economic benefits to the enterprise. ClearCube simply will take those PCs, rack them into different configurations, or put them on a smart VDI host platform supported by the VMware Horizon product set, and put a Zero client out on the desktop in a variety of different form factors. And the kinds of economic benefits that we see, most recently we had a situation where a customer will save $600,000 in their first year just because of the engineering support burden has been changed. Instead of 16 desk-side engineering support technicians, they're able to support the same size enterprise with only 4 desktop engineers. We'll talk a little bit more about a few other cases where you see the benefits in terms of hard dollars in a few minutes. But when I say Zero to us, here's what I mean. There still is some confusion about what is a thin client and what is a Zero client. So I kind of put this humorous slide together. To us and to the industry, Zero means no OS, no CPU, no memory, no storage, no drivers, no moving parts, which translates into a longer device life. Zero configuration, no noise, immediate get to work, there's no boot lag, zero configuration holes, no applications that need to be patched at the edge, no registry complications, zero management, zero hassles, and almost zero energy use. So all that will deliver no end user experience compromise. And what this means for the industry is that this Zero client is the most secure virtual desktop endpoint device that's available in the marketplace. Now, you have to broaden your scope to really, understand the impact. So let's look at it spread across an enterprise. Typically, you'll have a majority of your workers that are going to be task workers. We will support those with the Zero client and with our smart VDI virtualization platform running VMware Horizon. Your next tier often will be the knowledge workers. These folks will be easily supported with the addition of the PC over IP accelerator card, what's formerly known as the Apex accelerator card, and the NVIDIA grid cards, the K1 and the K2 grid cards in the same smart VDI host platform. Then you get to the next tier of worker, the power workers, and this this tier will also subdivide into different levels of work and different work profiles. But ClearCube provides for these use cases a wide range of blade PC form factors and engineering workstations that will support the higher-end NVIDIA GPU cards. So this one slide is going to talk a little bit about the spectrum of benefits that you will expect to recognize. You'll see things like in the range of 76% lower lifetime energy costs with a zero client at the edge. You'll see time to productivity gains in the range of 70%. You'll see lower administration costs in the range of 73%. And you'll also see lower support costs of the desktop in the range of 50% savings. So I wanted to take a second, and now that I've tried to explain the difference between thin and zero and where we fit, I want to shed a little bit more light on precisely the market and how ClearCube sits in the marketplace. On the x-axis of this little position graph, at the bottom I'm talking about very traditional office environments. At the top, the other end of that axis, I'm talking about highly specialized environments that require multiple security levels. I'm talking about ships and submarines and command and control centers, E911 centers, trade floors, things like that. And across the other axis, what I want to plot us against is your traditional office feature sets. And then in those specialized environments, the specialized feature sets for your end users and also for your administrators, things that will manifest itself as form factor modifications, electronics modifications, environmental adaptations like water tightness or ruggedization, capability additions, and performance enhancements often will be required from customers who live in this outer stratus. We find that as your environment and your capability requirements grow in complexity and sophistication, that's our sweet spot. ClearCube has let requirements from customers drive a number of different innovations. Things like we were the first integrated CAC reader. We were the first Tempest level 1 and level 2 zero clients. Additional USB ports in a small form factor. These types of things are all driven by our customers who are operating in special environments and who have special use cases. The rest of the vendors that provide zero clients, and this is in some way a little bit of an oversimplification, but to the 90% of it, you will find that they focus on your traditional office environment with your traditional office desktop feature sets. So if you find yourself with some unique use cases, and very recently we've been called upon by a number of the Sunray deployments that have been dropped through the entire federal government space. These administrators are facing end-of-life issues with these Sunray deployments, and ClearCube has a variety of ways to address these solutions. And in fact, if you are looking at a Sunray deployment that you need to migrate from, hopefully you'll pick up the phone and give us a call, because I think we can ease your worries about that problem. Now, let's look at, I've been saying user requirements are driving the selection, and I wanted to illustrate that a little bit more with this next slide. So we sort of have started out with a built tough all steel design enclosure, and your infrastructure is going to dictate whether you are fiber or copper, or whether you need zero clients for both to cohabitate in the same environment. The next sort of decision point that we will put you through will be, what are your display requirements? Do you need 1, 2, 3, or 4 monitors or more monitors? And then the next decision point for us with our models are, do you need the CAC card integrated into the zero client? Now, so that sort of explains how the diversity grows in our product set along one sort of leg of this tree. And you can sort of back up one more step here with this little decision point out here, and it has to do with Do you need the built tough model, or is an economy model going to work for you? Because we have a budget-friendly line, and at each tier you have the same options. Now, when you move further along this chart, now we get into the highly specialized requirements, things like form factor modifications, things like multiple level security domains accessed from a single desktop, things like trusted computing platforms or Tempest certified platforms, specialized connectors that you might need. This is how ClearCube presents to the market the largest lineup of Zero clients that are available in the marketplace today, driven by a whole host of different back-end computing resources that are tuned to your user cases throughout your environment. So this is just sort of laying the family out there a little bit for you to see. They're all going to be TAA compliant, VMware ready, PC over IP. Then you get into your NIAP compliance with the Belkin secure KVMs, and then our Tempest level products. The thing that I won't spend much time on today is that we also have a complete line of thin clients. And that's going to be important to those users who have to present a Linux desktop or who use other hypervisors. So the next slide I'm going to cover is a complex slide with a very simple message. We have already talked a great deal about the spectrum of the use cases, the task user, the knowledge user, and the power user, and that ClearCube has the right desktop solution for those different use cases. I just wanted to throw on one slide the relationship of those endpoints to the back-end computing resources. We have the Smart VDI Series 100 host platform. We have an RDS platform. We have HA platforms with the grid cards added as the workload gets a little bit more intense and as the GPU requirements change. And then we also have this family of Blade PC platforms and the engineering workstations that will support the whole line of NVIDIA GPU cards and deliver to you whatever display configuration you might need. And we also will provide a management console that would allow you to manage this entire environment from a single pane of glass. So, you know, we're here as a complete solution provider, providing the desktop solution that's going to satisfy the end user as well as the IT administrative operations user with what we will call central desktop infrastructure is the Blade PC part of it, the power user piece and the knowledge user piece, and virtualized desktop infrastructure for your task users, all in one package. So in ClearCube vernacular, that's a CVDI solution, centralized and virtualized desktop infrastructure. And just to drive the point home, it's that the user experience is what's going to drive success and acceptance in any virtualization project. We focus intensely on both the IT department's needs, the end user's needs, because we share common goals. And those goals are to provide the highest common computing experience, distributed power and flexibility of a standard desktop PC with the highest security that's practically available to be supported, high availability, and all the manageability of a centralized solution. Let's see, I think that's probably going to wrap us up. Let's look and see about questions. There's a question here I wanted to address. It says, you mentioned the Common Access Card also support the SIPRNet Access Card token. Yes, our solution, our integrated CAC card is deployed throughout the U.S. government on the NIPRNet, SIPRNet, JWICS, a whole variety of different deployments, and it supports all of the requirements. There's another question here. How difficult to restrict human interface devices attached via USB ports? That's a really good question. And ClearCube uniquely handles it from two different perspectives. We have patented technology on our Blade hardware platform that is a hardware jumper setting that can be, we call it a mass storage lockout. That setting will absolutely block USB access from any USB device connected to that resource. We also have a product that's called Port Authority, and you may have seen it on one of the slides. I didn't point it out, but this question does, and that's a software-based product that allows the administrator a whole range of policy-based and rule-based configuration options. The USBs can manifest themselves for a particular application or a particular user or a particular time, a particular process that may be running. They can also be hidden from use completely based on a wide number of different attributes or characteristics that you can define from a real easy scripted interface. So Port Authority handles it from a software perspective. The beauty of that is it will also work for thin clients, zero clients, other repurposed PCs, laptops. You have control over the endpoint USBs, or the mass storage lockout for the dedicated one-to-one clients that are connected to our Blade PC platforms.